this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing ratio and rates, and we're going to look at rates today. Rates compare different quantities or quantities of different kinds. So we're comparing kilometers and hours or dollars and days. We're comparing completely different quantities. Not like ratios where we were comparing different distances or things that were the same. So, to simplify rates, we multiply or divide both terms by the same amount. But rates are usually written in the form of how many of the first quantity are needed for every one of the second. So here's an example of how to do it. $50 for 40 litres of petrol. If you do 50 divided by 40, that gives you the $1.25 per litre. But instead of writing the word per, we write this backslash here. $1.25 / litre means per litre. So that's what we need to do for these first few questions here. Write the rate in simplest form. 80 kilometres in 4 hours. What we can do is write that down as a fraction. Then we divide our numbers. 80 divided by 4 is 20. And having these here, the units, tells us that we have kilometres per, because then we have the line, per hour. Let's look at part B. We have $340 in 5 days. Okay, if we divide those numbers, 340, turn the calculator on, 340 divided by 5 is $68 per day. And C, we have 230 litres in 2.5 hours. 230 divided by 2.5 is 92 litres per hour. Okay, so they're pretty straightforward, I hope, just simplifying some rates there. In question 2, we want to convert 80 cents per minute into dollars per minute. What we can do is we can rewrite this back as a fraction. 800 cents per, we can write it as a fraction, per minute means 1 minute. Okay, doing that means that we're splitting our units back up and we can change them. We can change one of them, we can change both of them, but we're doing it separately. So I want to change the cents to be in dollars. So 800 cents, I would need to divide by 100 to give me $8. I'm not changing the minutes, so that's per 1 minute. Okay, then I can divide that back again. Okay, so that's $8 per minute. Now, that one is pretty straightforward. You probably could have seen that from the start, that I could have divided the 800 by 100 to get that into dollars. But I'm trying to set this up as a process that you can use for any question. So if you see in question 3 here, it's a little bit more complicated. I have 15 kilometres per 1 litre. Now I want to change both units, which is why this gets pretty confusing. I want to change the kilometres into metres and the litres into millilitres. So 15 kilometres, I would have to times that by 1,000 to get metres. So that will give me 15,000 metres. Okay, and litres, I want to change the litres into millilitres. Okay, there is also 1,000 millilitres in a litre. So I would times that by 1,000 to get 1,000 millilitres. And if we divide those, just so happens that the 1,000 cancels away again and we are back to 15 metres per millilitre. Let's look at question 4. A boy cycled 12 kilometers per hour for 3.5 hours. How far did he cycle? If he travels 12 kilometers every hour, is what that means, all I need to do is times his speed there, 12 kilometers, by the time, 3.5, because he does 12 kilometers every hour and he travels for 3.5 hours, so we times them together. 12 times 3.5 equals 42. We need the units. The units are up here, kilometers. So he would have travelled 42 kilometers. Question 5. A plane is travelling at 500 kilometers per hour. How far will it travel in 15 minutes? Okay, so we have a problem with this question is that we can't have hours in here and minutes in here. Okay, so how about we change? It's a bit more complicated when we want to change units in our rate up here. So let's change our 15 minutes to be in hours. Now hours, as you know, have 60 minutes. So I need to divide that by 60. And that tells me, as you already know, that is quarter of an hour. Okay. A plane is travelling 500 kilometers per hour. How far will it travel in quarter of an hour? Okay, so now I will times 500 because we do that every hour, but we're only doing it for quarter of an hour. And that will tell me 500 times 1/4, 125 kilometers. Okay, so here is a few questions, just like the ones we've just done. Pause the video and attempt these questions and then restart the video to see the answers. Write the following rates in simplest form. We have 80 children for 5 teachers. So we want to go 80 children for 5 teachers. 80 divided by 5 is 16 children per teacher. Okay, and B, we have $6.80 for 4 kilograms. So if we divide those, $6.80 divided by 4 gives $1.70 per kilogram. Question 2, 5 litres per hour into millilitres per minute. So we want to break that to be 5 litres per 1 hour. Okay, we want to change litres into millilitres. 5 litres we times by 1,000 to get 5,000 millilitres. And 1 hour we want to change to minutes. There is 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so if we divide those numbers, 5,000 divided by 60 gives us a decimal. We'll do 1 decimal place. 83.3 millilitres per minute. Question 3. We want to convert 50 kilometers per hour into meters per second. So 50 kilometers per 1 hour. Okay, changing the kilometers into meters, we would times by 1,000, which would give us 50,000 meters. Now, changing hours into seconds, well, we have to go past minutes first to get to seconds. So we would have to times it by 60. We have 1 hour. We'd have to times it by 60 to put it into minutes. But there is also 60 seconds in a minute, so we have to times that by 60 again. There is 3,600 seconds in every hour. Okay, that was a little bit tricky there. So now if we divide 50,000 divided by 3,600, we get 13.9. If we do that to one decimal place, we round it up, meters per second. Question 4. If I can save $120 per week, how long will it take me to save $1,800? Okay, I know I can get $120 a week, so if I need $1,800, all I have to do is divide that by 120, and that will tell me how many weeks it will take me to get that. That's 15 weeks. Last question, number 5. The land rates are paid at 68 cents per dollar of your land value. How much will the rates be for land with a value of $600,000? Okay, so it's going to cost me 68 cents or 0.68 cents per dollar. Well, there was $600,000 worth of land, so I need to multiply those together. 0.68 times by 600,000 equals. Now that is a lot of, it looks like a lot of money, but that's because it is in cents, okay, because it was 0.68 cents. So let's change that into dollars, which means we would divide by 100, which gives us, we'd take 2 zeros off, 4080. So it would cost $4,080 in land rates. All right, there it is. That's the end of our lesson today. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.